help you out?
I'm George from Alert Tech Security.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Come on in. Yeah, just have a seat right there on the couch. So how long have you been selling security systems for?
About 6 years.
Oh, cool. What's that?
This is the power cord.
I mean, what's the thing on the table?
This is the Moose Technology Z11 security system with central monitoring station and emergency response.
Oh, neat. All right. Oh, looks like I gotta plug that in.
You have an outlet?
Yeah, I actually got one right over here. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here goes. Ooh, it's loud. Lights right up. Look at that. That's cute.
So, here's your documentation.
Oh, all right. Well, show me how this thing works.
Sensor 3, okay.
You have pressed panic.
I'm New Age Server Alarm, and welcome back to Alert Tech Security. So, this is the Moose Z1100e security system. This right here is what is called a briefcase demonstrator. It's essentially a security system built into a briefcase. These were used by salesmen who would go to customers' houses or businesses or whatever to show off the system. As you can see, this particular one was intended for residential. Moose made them, and I've also seen one made by Fire Burglar Instruments, Adamco Vista, and Radionics. And I'm sure many other companies had them as well. So as you can see on the left side, you've got a keypad, and it is powered and functional. You've got these different pictures here, which depict different types of zones you can have on a security system. Like, for example, a front door, which would be an entry delay, a garage door, motion detector. This one is some sort of interior zone. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be a picture of. A window, a sliding glass door, a different window, and a smoke detector. You notice each one of these has a toggle switch next to it. The way the toggle switch works is it's got three positions. You've got an off position, which is normal. You've got a trouble position, then you've got an alarm position. And the alarm position is actually momentary. The idea of this being you can demonstrate what the panel does for an open circuit and for a shorted circuit for an alarm condition. On the other side of the case, you've got a diagram, and really all this is just depicting is a central station and showing an example of what a central station in the 1980s would have looked like, as well as like, hey, our panel calls a central station, look what we can do. We can dispatch the fire department, we can dispatch the cops, or we can dispatch an ambulance. It's just a visual aid that the salesman would use to show the customer, like, hey, look, we can do this. This is what'll happen. This side also opens up. Push these two things here, and then open it, just like that. And inside there's a compartment for storing cables, accessories, and paperwork. Now, I got a story about this, actually. I got this case off eBay for 20 bucks. If you look inside, you can kind of see the swirly pattern here. The inside of this case was actually filled with foam that they had glued in, but the foam had disintegrated. It was originally supposed to be like a pocket, a couple of pockets to put various items in. When I first got this thing, it was disgusting. It was filthy, and I had to spend hours cleaning this thing out and washing away all the grimy, gross, slimy, sticky foam that was inside. I would like to eventually put some fresh new foam in here, but not something I've gotten around to doing yet. But put the paperwork back inside and close that up. As for the other side, this is where things are more important. So, as you can see, it's held on with screws, so why don't I go ahead and take those screws out and we can have a look inside. Now with all the screws removed, this panel is loose, so I can pull it back and we can look inside. There we go. We can see inside we've got a Z1100e control, which has 8 onboard zones and is expandable to 16. And also we've got an output adapter here, and that runs over to this board right here, which is an 8-channel siren driver. When I say 8 channels, that means it makes 8 sounds. And each of these outputs is controlling one of the channels. They're not using all of them, so it doesn't make all the possible sounds, but it does make a good handful of them. And as you can see, there's wiring leading over here to this part on the back, and then you've got all the switches that are connected to the various zones next to the pictures. And then lastly, there's a speaker. Now, Moose was smart when they designed this. They actually figured out a way to quiet down the speaker. Otherwise, this thing would have blown out the eardrums of every customer. They just want to show what it sounds like. They don't want to cause hearing loss. But anyway, so over here you can see this side had foam in it as well. And there was something glued here. But the way they're powering this is kind of funny. It's just a transformer plugged into a cut extension cord that's wired into a power input plug on that side. So now let me put this thing back together and we'll spin around to the back side and I'll show you what these are for. So here is the bottom of the case showing the connections that they built into this. So this one here is where the power comes in. This one here is a switch which triggers programming mode for activating remote programming on these cases, and I guess that would be useful if you're just changing the programming on it for a customer site. This jack right here is a keypad jack, so you can have an external keypad that you can plug in and hand to the customer to play with. This one right here is a telephone jack, which I do have a line plugged in here because this briefcase is actually communicating with my central station receiver. And then this one's connected to zone 8 and provides 12 volt power. And this one at the top is connected to zone 3 and also provides 12 volt power. So those are useful for using external devices like a contact or a motion detector or a smoke detector or something, so you can demonstrate to the customer how it works, which is pretty nice. So here is the basic operation of this panel. It's a little bit interesting compared to other systems. So as you can see on the outside, we have these status indicator lights, and if we flip open the door, you can see this is where the zones are listed. And right now they're indicating status regardless of the position of the cover. So this system is operated using commands, and essentially you press the button for the command you want, and then you enter in your passcode to do that command. So the available commands are press 1 to arm, press 2 to check zone status, press 3 for alarm memory, press 4 to toggle interior zones on or off, and press 5 to toggle delay zones on and off. Basically, normally on a security system, of course, you have arm stay or arm away or arm instant or no delay or whatever they call it, which you press the button for the arming level you want and then you just do your thing. On this particular one, it doesn't work that way, and you actually have to set one of these either on or off, one or both of these on or off, to choose if you want it to be delayed or instant or you're home or you're not. So, like for example, right now it's saying it's away with a delay. So let's say you want to turn off the motion detectors. So you would actually have to press 4 and then enter the code before you arm the system so that can turn off. And same thing with delay. If you want an instant alarm, like that. So it's just weird. You just gotta know to do that, and it adds extra button presses. Press 6 for monitor, which is their name for chime. 8 for test, which is like system test. 9 for programming, which is how you set user codes and other stuff like that. Asterisk is reset. It's also used to silence certain alarms. 0 is access, which turns on an auxiliary output. And then pound is shunt, which is bypass on some systems, bypass is known as shunt. So, why don't we start with something basic? We'll just arm the system and put it into alarm. So, I'll give you a quick heads up that the system is able to report to the central station receiver, and it has an odd tendency to just freeze while it's reporting. So, sometimes you'll see the keypad go blank, sometimes you'll see it beep. It does all kinds of weird things when it's reporting. Now, we'll press 1, and we'll enter the code to arm. So now it is on the exit delay, and it's going to start reporting in a moment. So now the keypad has gone quiet because it is reporting to the receiver at this present time. That series of beeps that sounds like a defibrillator in a movie confirms that the report was successful, and then it just finishes the exit delay. So it literally stops the exit delay to send the report. So why don't we start by causing an entry delay? So we'll flip this over here. So now the keypad's beeping to let us know, hey, the alarm's going to sound. So let's say that this is actually a burglar. They panic, and they run out the sliding door. Now the siren's going off. So I just screwed up the code while trying to punch it in. So now I gotta wait for it to time out. Oh, actually now it's reporting. So, yeah, it's still reporting. Hold on. Alright. There we go. That was fun. Alright, so now we got this little blinking light here indicating that alarm occurred. So we can now check the alarm memory by pressing 3 and then entering their code. And we can see that Zone 1 and Zone 6 were lit because those zones were put into alarm. So now we're pretty much back to normal. So now let's say that the garage door's open and it's no longer ready to arm. We want to arm the system. So let's find out what's actually faulted. So you press 2 and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's showing us that Zone 2 is faulted. As you can see, I'm flipping it on and off. And there we go. So now the keypad's back to saying an alarm occurred, so we just need to reset. And now we're back to normal. So now I'll show you what a fire zone sounds like. So we'll flip the smoke detector switch over here. Got an auxiliary alarm going, so... And then we'll just reset that like before. Oop, gotta flip that back first. Now we're back to normal again. So the auxiliary output's wired to a different tone on the siren driver, and it's programmed to do a momentary blast of some sort of mechanical buzzer sound. So it sounds like this. That one's actually surprisingly loud in person. The other ones weren't that bad. Another thing about this system is that there's actually a series of panic keys on it, and they're used to send different types of alarms, like fire, police, and medical. So, like the majority of systems out there, star and pound is a panic key. Three and 9. And then 1 and 7. And it's reporting right now, so we'll give it just a moment. So that's the different sounds that the siren driver can make. As you can hear, it sounds like those old car alarms that did the 6 tones and kind of switched between the different tones. So it is kind of funny in that regard, but... Anyway, though, so that is a pretty simple overview of these types of panels. There is another keypad that they made for these, which is actually an LCD keypad, but unfortunately I don't own one of those. I could delve deeper into the functions of these panels in a future video if people want to see, but they are a little bit complicated to program, especially with the LEDs, but they are remote programmable using some lovely DOS software called Transport PC. And then there's a couple other little miscellaneous functions, you know, like programming user codes and other things like that. But otherwise, it's a relatively simple system, expandable, and these sold very well back in the day. So I think that's all I got to say about the Z1100. So thanks everybody for watching, and have a great day. Alright, this looks like a really cool system. I really like this. I think I'm going to buy one.
Well, we thank you very much.
Sweet.
I'll have an associate call you tomorrow, and we'll see about getting this installed for you.
Alright, I'll pay attention for that call. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Need some help?
Yeah, if you could unplug it for me, that'd be great.
Yep. Hey, right here. Here's your power cord. Have a good day. Drive safely.